Hello. Why freedom of speech is so important. Throughout history, millions and millions of people have been imprisoned, banished or exiled, and even executed for daring to speak of truth, or against corrupt and wicked leaders or dictators. Freedom of speech has come at an astonishingly significant moral and human cost. So hear me out. I've always had an inner intuition or the instinct to be outspoken, or have felt the need to be heard or speak up on the benefit of others or myself. Because of this instinct, I have dived into researching our First Amendment rights, particularly the freedom of speech and its need and importance. So today I'd like to highlight the purpose, importance, and need regarding the freedom of speech. As represented in this slide of our founding fathers who established our representative democracy and ratified the First Amendment rights December 15th of 1791, the freedom of speech is an essential and vital right for democracy, overall social advancement. It is a right that allows individuals to express themselves and pursue truth. I want to instill in all the importance and need for freedom of speech. Purpose of freedom of speech. As stated in Funk and Wagnall's New World Encyclopedia by its contributors, published in 2018, titled Speech, Freedom of speech's purpose is the right to express oneself, either orally in writing, without fear of governmental restraint or retribution. And stated by Greg Lukianoff, who's an American lawyer, journalist, and author of his 2014 book, Freedom from Speech, states that freedom of speech's purpose is invaluable, as it is the cornerstone of democratic societies. It ensures that different opinions can be expressed and debated, facilitating peaceful and social change. As presented in this next slide, its purpose and meaning are priceless, because without it, we wouldn't have some of the music and art that we all know and love. And as stated by Jonathan Zimmerman, who's an American historian of education and author of his 2021 book, Free Speech and Why You Should Give a Damn, he states that free speech allows us to create and enjoy the art, film, and literature of our choice, making it paramount and having incalculable value. The importance of freedom of speech. Mentioned again and represented in this slide, the freedom of speech is important because it is fundamental to democracy, allowing for advancement of knowledge and is crucial for personal and social change. As presented in Defining Free Speech and Why It Matters, presented by PBS Learning Media, December 2022, with guest speaker Christopher Capozala, who is a professor of history at MIT, he states that without freedom of speech, we could not have a democratic government, and we would not have voting, debate, or deliberation. Because if people cannot speak or say what they want. As presented in this slide, you can see two people that appear to be debating, exercising their right for free speech. He also states that the cure for speech you don't like is more speech. Because if you are hearing ideas you don't like, then it is important to speak up against them and to ensure that everyone that shares those views are heard, allowing for the advancement of knowledge and personal and social progress. The need for freedom of speech. As represented in this slide of anti-Trump protesters, the freedom of speech allows for the oppressed to challenge their leaders and express themselves. Because without freedom of speech, citizens cannot criticize or hold the government and its officials accountable, or we would not have our fundamental defense against government overreach. Like this next slide displays, people with red X's over their mouth, silenced. The need for freedom of speech is crucial to the world's advancement and survival, because societies only advance through encouraged and open discussion of new ideas and shared knowledge. Imagine if experts like scientists and doctors were barred from sharing their knowledge and opinions. Imagine if all people were barred from sharing their thoughts and feelings. This world would be primitive and empty. As I conclude, please see the last slide with the Benjamin Franklin quote. And as mentioned, freedom of speech is an essential and vital right for democracy. It is extremely important for personal and social progress, and it encourages people to counter arguments with their own arguments. So I encourage all to actively participate in exercising this right by speaking up and by listening to opposing views, as it is a fundamental part of free and open society where the people can express themselves in the pursuit of happiness. Benjamin Franklin's quote: freedom of speech is a principal pillar of a free government. When this support is taken away, the constitution of a free society is dissolved and tyranny is erected on its ruins. Thank you.